G'day everyone, Prep Aussie again. I'm going to try and explain to you, this is a pretty extraordinary screenshot, except for the fact that in Tasmania at the moment, the time is exactly that, because it's 3 hours ahead of West Australia, where I live. My point is that I've been trying to stress to everyone that there's something wrong with the moon. By something wrong, I'm saying it's not our moon. It's, you know, it goes across the sky. It does everything that it should, but it just doesn't look like our moon. The resonance is wrong. The illumination is wrong. It looks like an angry sun. And there's a gentleman called Nicholas Brown who's got back to me and said a couple of things about, when you're recording the moon, it seems brighter. Well, I'm going to go and record the moon tonight, and I'm going to upload it on my phone just so everyone can see what the difference is. Yeah, it is a bit brighter when you record it on the actual camera lens, because the luminance comes through. It's supposed to do that. But my point is that I've been trying to say to everyone that, I guess what I'm trying to say is that there's something in front of the moon, and it's on the same orbit as our moon. So our moon is behind it. That's my belief. Whatever's in front of it, I have no idea what it is. There's just different things like that just resonate with me with the moon. Now, I did mention about the planets. Now, people said that it's, this and that, reflections, etc., etc., etc. Okay, maybe, but not all of them are reflections. It's not possible. There has to be the old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. So what I'm going to do is expand this out a bit. And as I said, this is just an unextraordinary looking cloudy, I don't even know if it's cloudy yet, because it's the moon. I've never ever seen the moon on this particular side either, by the way, which is another point. I've never, very rarely seen the moon on any of the the webcam sites. It's only just recently just popped up and appeared. It might have been on a higher trajectory, which is fine. But if that's the case, why do we see the sun on every trajectory that it's got and we don't see the moon? What is it flipped over to the backside of the Earth? I just don't get it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something now that's going to blow your mind a little bit. And here we go. Remember I was saying about the daily summary of the day? Well, I want you to remember the planets and how I counted them out in America and how it was nighttime. Okay, and everyone said they're reflections. Well, I can actually show you this site and another site in Australia. Sorry, two other sites in Australia, that being Savannah Skies and Gorge Creek, which are exactly the same as what I'm going to show you. And we're in Australia, don't forget. And I counted those planets out to you today on, I can't remember what observatory it was, but there was 6, 7 planets, which I was calling planets. So I want everyone to remember that, stay focused on that, because I'm in Australia. This is Tasmania. I'm just not sure if you know where Tasmania is. That's Tasmania, at the bottom end of Australia. That there is Antarctica. So there's, that's the bottom of the Earth. That's the South Pole. There's New Zealand, it's a little bit further down, but that's the South Pole. So the next thing from Tasmania is the South Pole. Now, remember all that. So I'm going to show you this now. How do you explain this? Look at it. And that. I'll let you all look at it for a second, and then someone needs to come up with a plan and tell me why they reckon the moon is throwing a 7 reflection 7-planet reflection. And please note, that's the sun. There is no moon there. So what the hell is that? And as I said, you can go on Savannah Skies, you can go on Gorge Creek, and they show exactly the same thing, more or less. So who's kidding who here? You can count them. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's a big one in the middle. So I'll let everyone nut that out, and maybe someone can get back to me and explain to me why it's like that. And I'll leave it at that. You guys can do the groundwork yourself and go and have a look at Savannah Skies and Gorge Creek, which match pretty well that. Might have a little bit different configuration, but you'll get the point. Anyway, God bless. That's what we're after here. Remember, we're after the truth. Nothing else matters but the truth. Speak to you later. God bless. G'day everyone, Prep Aussie again. I'm going to try and explain to you, this is a pretty extraordinary screenshot, except for the fact that in Tasmania at the moment, the time is exactly that, because it's 3 hours ahead of West Australia, where I live. My point is that I've been trying to stress to everyone that there's something wrong with the moon. By something wrong, I'm saying it's not our moon. It's, you know, it goes across the sky. It does everything that it should,